Would you or someone you know like to be a guest on Listen Up? If so, give us a call at area code 816-535-1081. That's area code 816-535-1081. Or better yet, email us at listenupblackpeople@gmail.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Kelvin Tiller, owner of Tiller's Mixed Martial Arts here in Kansas City, Kansas. Here at Tiller's Mixed Martial Arts, I offer boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, and strength and conditioning. We have affordable pricing for adults and children. I am open Monday through Saturday, so please come out and support, and I hope to see you soon.
Hi, I'm Tova Tanner of Royal Cohesive Network. We are a nonprofit organization that work with youth in the local community. Our four cornerstones of sustainability are literacy, youth entrepreneurship, homeschool hub, and also gardening. Our mission is to engage people in educational and professional development to enhance sustainability. You can visit our website at www.royalnetwork.org, or you can follow us on Facebook. You can also email us at info@royalnetwork.org.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Curry.
Hi, and I'm Florence Curry.
And we are the owners of Longevity Nutrition.
Longevity Nutrition is a company that serves healthy shakes, energizing teas, sports nutrition, and we would like to offer you good nutrition.
What better way than to think about your health and become healthier? We're here to service you. We're open Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 5, and Saturdays, 8 to 3.
Yes, and we're going to work on that good nutrition inside out.
That's right.
Pine Hill Productions, providing voiceover and narration for your production needs.
This episode of Listen Up is sponsored by Legends Comedy Club and Sports Lounge, Kansas City's premier Black-owned comedy club where the laughs are on us and the experience is second to none. Welcome, Miss Christina Williams.
Thank you for having me.
And I must say, the fabulous and beautiful Christina Williams.
Oh,
You
well,
look nice.
Thank you.
Okay, jumping right in. So, the Blakk Company.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. So the Blakk Company essentially is a members-only gentlemen's club created to bring men of color together in a cohesive environment where they are uplifted, empowered, and encouraged.
Awesome. Okay. You know, I kind of looked at the website, and I was curious as to, you know, when I saw you, I said, okay, we have a platform that's designed to uplift the brotherhood of black men, and I'm curious, as a woman, what inspired and motivated you to be involved, or to now? Did you start the company, or did you become involved somehow?
Good question. Well, I definitely can't take credit myself. It was a girlfriend and I, and it was honestly an organic concept that was birthed during a time where there was a lot of systemic racism, specifically in 2020, that we were able to identify men of color in general were experiencing. And just, you know, honestly, we were cooling out over the weekend and we just kind of started having a conversation. And from that, the Blakk Company was birthed.
I like it. Now, I wasn't expecting that. I like that. So you say you and a girlfriend of yours. So how in the culture that we're in now, and when I say the culture that we're in now, when you look at a lot of different platforms and a lot of conversations, you hear a lot of the the black men ain't shit type of thing.
Okay.
You know, with a lot of women.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Absolutely.
You've heard it. Yeah, we've all heard it. So how did other friends of yours take it? Like, you know, because sometimes, and I say that because there's a womanhood out there.
There is.
Sometimes when you step away from the woman code, I don't know exactly what it is. Like, and when I'm gonna give you an example. Like, sometimes I've seen this and I've heard from other women that there's kind of like this animosity, like when a woman finds a man or whatever and she's spending time with him, and girl, you spending all your time with this man, you know, it's always this weird like fracture in the relationship. So when you and your girlfriend decided to, with this particular movement, how did your other friends take it? Did they take to it as in a positive way, or did you run into any type of resistance?
That's a good question. So in terms of the women around me and also the women around my girlfriend, I'm just a firm believer that you're only as good as your circle.
Right.
We are women of excellence. And so when presenting the ideal to our other girlfriends in our circles, they too, like us, we understand the importance and value of men, specifically men of color.
Right.
Those men of color may show up in our households, they may show up in our community, in our churches, in our business, and I personally just happen to know a lot of amazing men of color that I can speak highly of because I know they are men of integrity, men of truth, men of respect, and so that's the type of gentlemen we ideally saw when we were thinking of the Blakk Company. There's a lot of great men that just are not connected in a place where they feel comfortable, where they feel safe.
Right.
They may not even know each other and be in the same area, the same city, the same community, and so forth. Right. And so the feedback or the pushback, honestly, that I received personally came from men.
Really?
And some of these men were honestly some men in my, when I say in my circle, I mean like that I know. And the question or the pushback was, you're a woman, or y'all are women. Why are y'all doing this? This seems like something that a man would do. And honestly, my answer was, why not?
And you know, it's interesting because it's the same pushback when you have men that speak, you know, in regards on subjects or platforms associated with women.
Yeah.
It's the exact same.
Yeah.
Wow. So with the Blakk company, how do you reach out to, what's the strategy that you use to reach out to men or try to pull them into the brotherhood or into the membership? Well, and you did say it was membership based, right?
That is correct. It is membership based. But I think that brotherhood comes from an ideal of partnership. And when I say partnership, it's about, we hear the saying all the time, it's not about what you know, but it's about who you know. And again, because we were connected to so many amazing men, that was kind of our first entry into the brotherhood, right? Talk to the ones that you know, the ones that you know honestly support positive things, the ones that you know would love the opportunity to sit down with. And we don't like to say men that are the same or are like-minded, but men that they can continue to grow from and continue to elevate and continue to network, and thus forward. And so that was our initial contact. It's like, hey, we're having this, ideal, and we want to, create this for amazing men of color. What do you think about this?
Right.
Oh, wow, that's dope. Or, that's amazing. What you need me to do? And those are the type of men that we surround ourselves with. And so that was kind of our initiation on how do we get this information out to other amazing men.
Right. Okay, and not really to backtrack, but now when was the birth of the company?
Well, I would say the seed idea was birthed back in May of 2020.
Okay.
And
so it's still a baby.
It's still a baby. And I am so grateful for my girlfriend because I, being an entrepreneur and being a risk taker, you start to develop this habit of let's get it done. And I'm so appreciative of her because she helped balance me. And so what I'm saying is that the Blakk company since May in its conceiving state has organically grown. And I would say now we're in this toddler phase and we still are growing, and I'm super excited about where we're going and the time that it took, because it's like all that time gave us the right preparation. I don't think anyone could have better planned 2020.
Right.
We've had to shift in so many different ways to still bring something amazing to men of color while doing so under the conditions that everybody, are currently living under. So,
right.
Yeah.
So when you have men that come into the Blakk company, what is it that they should expect to get as being members? Absolutely.
That's a great question, especially when something is structured as a membership. What am I paying for? What am I getting? And honestly, the bigger picture of what they're getting is their ability to connect with outstanding men of color and knowing that when I come here, I won't leave the same. This is about elevation, and that's due through a process. We have events. We have our Black Men Speaks, which is all about empowerment and uplifting. Honestly, everything that we do, our uncompromising mission of uplifting, encouraging men of color is kind of threaded throughout the entire company. So every month we have 3 events. The Black Men Speaks, again, is that empowerment. You need to be reignited. It's at the beginning of the month. What happened the month before doesn't even matter. Let's go ahead and get recharged. Let's get that fire lit back. Then we move into our Black discussions. And again, one of the amazing things between me and my girlfriend when this concept was created was that her and I have a history of working with men. I, by profession, I'm a cosmetologist, and so I've worked and know a lot of amazing barbers throughout the community on both the Missouri side and the Kansas side. She has historically also worked with men. She's a therapist in her practice. She works a lot with men. And so for years we've been doing this already. And so when we say creating a safe place for those discussions, with so much that happened even last year, where do you go to really talk about the stressors that men of color were facing last year? Where can you go and not be judged? Where can you go and really feel free in your voice, knowing that your voice is heard, you can be who you are authentically? So every second Wednesday of the month, we do our Black discussions, and it's an open forum where men of color come together and they talk about some of those challenging things, some of those things that are uncomfortable to talk about in other places that they may view on a daily basis, whether it be work, whether it be church, whether it be, you know what I mean? So it's just a free opportunity. And then lastly, we do our Blakk Hour. And so that's essentially a happy hour. You know, come kick back, grab some wings, you know, grab, you know, a cognac, grab, you know, whatever you need to, a book if you want to play a game of chess and talk to another man of color, meet some, you know, some new men. And so we do those things. That's a part of their inclusive membership.
Gotcha.
So having a place, you know, every man is not interested in going to a nightclub. Every man is not, you know, interested on checking for the scene that doesn't give him some type of value. So we are strategically putting together the Blakk Company. So no matter really honestly what your background is, what your education level is, you know, when I go there, I'm somebody. I'm a black man.
Right. So now with these discussions, now are they primarily led by men most of the time, some of the time, or?
It'll be a little bit of both, honestly. You know, with Tamala, which the girlfriend, I guess she should have a name. Tamala, at her discretion and really through her leading, she will incorporate, you know, women and men. But those discussions will sometimes be led by members. By, you know, taking polls, finding out what's really at the heart of the man right now. What should we be talking about? It's for us, by us, in a sense of this. Let's not just do it cookie cutter. Let's really be authentic. What's really the issues on the table right now? And we've got plenty of time to go through all the issues. So, but there may be women orchestrating it. We understand who we are as women, working behind the scenes of the Blakk Company, and our goal is to be supportive in every way that we can be.
Right. And see, and the reason why I ask that is because, you know, I truly believe that there should be an intricate part that women should play, because there is definitely a communication gap that we have with one another.
Between men and women?
Between men and women.
Okay.
There is definitely a communication breakdown from time to time. Sometimes men think we know what women want, and sometimes women think they know what men want, and we don't know that answer until we come togeter and have those discussions. And I think it's very important. That's why I asked that question. Like I said, I love the concept, but you know, and I'm not saying knocking anything about it, but I would love to see, or, you know, become involved where I can see those discussions, because you rarely see them. But yeah, we rarely see them. So with these particular discussions, how do we sell this to men? Because sometimes, you know, we have our egos. Sometimes we hear, okay, you might introduce the Blakk Company, that we're having discussions with men, bringing men together to whatever, however you may sell it, to become better in whatever it is that we're doing. Sometimes we get in our ego, and we think as I sometimes say, we think we know everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no seminar. I don't need no workshop. Telling me about being a man. So how do we sell that? How are we selling that?
Well, you know, for me, and as long as I've been in business as a businesswoman, I think the best thing you can do when you ask, how do you sell something, is not to sell it. When you know what you have as a product or a service, it really speaks for itself. And if a man is attracted enough to the Blakk Company to do his research and find out what are they all about, I believe wholeheartedly he will be able to recognize this isn't just about an event, you know, about them telling me that I'm not good enough or that I need to be uplifted. He gets to honestly choose what type of black man he wants to be. He can choose to say, I just want to pop in once a month for an event of my choosing, or I want to be the black man that gets the all-inclusive experience. I want to attend a little bit of everything. And yes, there are going to be those men that simply say, I don't want to be a part of it all, because we're clear that everything isn't for everyone. But the black man is a man of distinguished values. So I think this is a great time to kind of go right into that. What is a black man? For us, it's a man of distinguished values with great societal importance and significance. And so that's not saying a man that doesn't know what he's talking about or doesn't know who he is. It's the opposite. He knows who he is. wherever he is, wherever that may be.
Right.
I think that we're all moving towards a daily pursuit of becoming better. But understanding that what our definition of Black is, I think it speaks for itself, you know, and then not to mention that 7 degrees of separation. At some point you start to hear, oh yeah, I'm going down to the Blakk company, or I'm gonna check it, you know, what's that? You know what I mean? So I think it's just like we've been growing as a company, organically it will happen for those who truly are looking for a different type of experience. They want a night out on the town. They don't want to just be at home while their wives go and do other things and connect with women. They want to become social, you know, they enjoy, you know, catching up with the game and connecting with some men, you know, are learning new things. So I think they will find their way to the Blakk company.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think society has played a big role in the definition of a Black man?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we were completely discouraged. Honestly, let me take that back. It wasn't a complete discouragement, but there was a conversation about calling it Black. And Tamala and I knew from the beginning that we wanted it to be about men of color. So if you want something to be about men of color, which represents different ethnicities, different backgrounds, and so forth, why call something Black? Because society will think the African American man constantly. Just if you say Black, period, they associate that. But, you know, we were very clear that we knew that we wanted it to be for men of color and that we wanted to use the word Black. Because if that is enough to provoke you to think that it is a man of some type of color, then we're doing our job. And so we just, you know, so many things I feel like, you know, society has formed opinions about, you know, and we're hoping we can just reshape a little bit of that thinking of men of color are not just what society says. We're not just, our men are not just statistics that show up in a negative way on media. They actually are amazing men with amazing backgrounds, doing amazing things in our communities, in our homes, in our families. We want to shed some good light. And so that's what we're really hoping, you know, that the Blakk company will be able to do.
Okay. Now, to kind of maybe throw a challenge into that without getting in trouble.
Okay.
When you do you believe that using the term men of color eliminates Black men? Because it's a term that includes other men. Because it's a term that may have been used recently in this current time that we live in. They'll use the term people of color, but Black being more specific. When you say Black men or Black women, that excludes the other people that are brown skinned, but because it's like, for example, we are a culture that does not have a community of our own. Like you might hear the Black community, but what does that mean? But we all know what it means when you go to Chinatown, or you go to you know, a Middle Eastern, you know, we know when you go to a gas station, you're gonna see Middle Easterners. We know they got that locked up. You know, the nail shops or in Chinese food places, they got that locked up. But when you speak of Black people, or when you ask for something, you're more direct when you say, okay, this is for Black people or this Black culture. Do you think you kind of X that out when you use people of color?
I don't think so. And being a practicing cosmetologist, it's something that I think about a lot. I talk about a lot. You know, I can be an African American woman that walks into a Caucasian salon without a problem. I want to see someone that can give me what it is that I'm looking for. I'm not offended that every stylist inside of the salon is Caucasian. I'm coming here because I've done my research. I know what I want, and I'm willing to pay whatever it is. Vice versa, if a Caucasian woman walks past the salon and sees a whole staff of African American women, I cannot say, and I know for certain that she probably wouldn't feel the most comfortable. Whatever reservation she has, I don't know, but it's just not the same way. But what I enjoy about people of color in general is that we've always had a welcoming spirit. It's almost like a kindred spirit where everybody is just great people until they otherwise show us. And so for us saying Black, yeah, we knew it could have that adverse effect on, are they talking about African American people? Or when they keep saying men of color, what are they saying? We have to continue to stress men of color so that we start to teach from our perspective that men of color are not just African American men. And to be truthful, I personally, this is a personal belief, feel like people of color in general have all throughout the years faced different systemic challenges, issues. We all have our plight and our, we're trying to overcome things, generational. And at large, some of those same attacks are issues. I hate to say it, but everybody, it's like you're either a person of color or you're not. You know what I mean?
Okay, so can I pick a fight with you?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, as a man of color, am I treated the same way as a Latino? An East Indian? These are all people of color.
If I could be honest with you,
do you think I would be treated as an equal?
See, it's hard for me to answer that, and I'm gonna be honest. Because one, I'm a woman, so I don't know what either man feels. But I also would say that it would be hard for me to see how they're treated because I'm not in their community.
Okay, if I apply for a business loan, me, a Latino, an East Indian, a Middle Easterner, where would I fall in that category?
You probably would be the lowest. That I would say. And the reason that I say that is that I do see more men of color who are in business that seem to have, right, like you said earlier, gas stations, with other kind of businesses, maybe laundromats, hair stores that women shop at, that are not African American men. So that for that reason alone, it would lead me to believe that is there an issue why African American men don't have gas stations, don't have laundromats, or why aren't they getting the funding? Is the funding an issue?
And I think with what you're doing, I think that's a start into finding out why that is and how we can remedy that problem.
Yeah.
Now, so let's go ahead and let everybody know how we can get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
And the company.
So the Blakk Company, we're located on all social media platforms, facebook.com/The Blakk, and Blakk is BLAKK, Co, C-O. Instagram @The Blakk Co. Also, our website is www.theblackco.com. Again, that's BLAKK.
Christina Williams. I would love to sit down across from you again in the future, just to see where the success of the Blakk Company has come. I'm definitely going to keep in touch with you because I would love to be involved with what you're doing.
Awesome.
If I can bring, if myself or the Labnificent Media Group can contribute something to what you're doing to help you progress and what you guys are trying to do, and we love to be a part of what you're doing. So
we appreciate that, and we're super grateful for you having us, and anything that we can do to continue to support your platform. Again, that collaboration, that connection, maybe there's a man of color inside of the membership that's looking for a media group, so
awesome.
That's what it's all about.
Awesome. Christina, we love you, and we thank you and appreciate you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
All right, awesome. And that concludes our show for this evening. We'd like to thank our guests, our staff, our sponsor, and our supporters for their contributions. But most importantly, we'd like to thank you, our viewers. Be sure and tune in for our next broadcast and follow us online. Thank you. Good night.